Hey, what is going on everyone? My name's Tom with Beach Roads, and I'm making this video to give you a preview and a showing of what the Ableton Live Advanced Macro Vocal Chain is all about. This is a super designed vocal chain to handle so many different things when it comes to processing a vocal in a professional way with essentially one click, plus a ton of depth of effects that you can use with all kinds of vocals, whether it's your vocals, an artist, or a vocal sample. I'm going to drag and drop it into our track here, and you can see what it looks like right when you open it up. You have a macro effects section that you can do a lot of customization with. You can also randomize all of these functions for yourself. And I'm just going to spread out the vocal chain and you can see what's going on. So right off the bat, you can see that there's a lot of gain staging, there's EQ, there's compression, there's parallel compression. Everything is built in, including the parallel effects the moment you open up this plugin. So it's not going to change your gain staging. You're not going to have your vocals all of a sudden become extremely too loud, which is what a lot of times presets on different things that we have in our computer will do, right? This is not designed to be that. This is designed to be usable. It will be usable with most microphones, even if your gain staging is very low. Hopefully it's not clipping, but no matter kind of where your vocal recording is at, this will place into your track and it will sound good. And then you can customize it as much as you want. So you can see here, I've got everything sort of kind of programmed in, including all of the effects and their balances. And then you can really easily just go in and tweak these things as much as you want. You could turn your dry wets down through here. I have the reverb, which is also sidechain ducking out of the way, which is producing a lot of clarity if you decide to add a lot of reverb to your vocal chain sound. The saturator, the echo, and the echo is also processed in mid-side style for, again, more clarity, which is what you want in a vocal. And then finally roar, which is the new Ableton 12 serial or parallel distortion circuit, which is very advanced. It's a lot of advanced features, but this is specifically tuned for vocal sound. Has a really nice sound. So what I'm going to do is just listen to the vocal recording without it on, and then we'll just turn it on and see what it does.
It's keeping my heart beating, don't wanna stop dreaming.
So again, that's the dry vocal sound, nothing on it at all. Now let's turn on our Ableton 12 vocal chain, and I'm not even going to touch anything. This is just default settings.
It's keeping my heart beating, don't wanna stop dreaming.
So you can hear all the compression is already basically done. And most of the time I found, even if your gain staging is a little bit different, it's going to hit things in a similar way, and then you can go in and tweak it as much as you want. But it's really nice. This is designed also to have lots of depth. So this whole section here, you can see everything is just down. And it's because you can customize it. You can get a lot of sound design stuff out of this. So you have a high pass filter, low pass, you have smash, which is a very extreme compression setting. You also have distortion, which puts a lot more of the roar plugin into the vocal chain, chorus, reverb, echo, and a lo-fi setting. And that's why after the audio effect rack, where everything's tuned to a baseline vocal sound, you have all these other plugins that are essentially turned off, because those are programmed specifically for your macro effects. So if you want to do a bunch of sound design and customize this, or even just hit the randomize button and mess around with the sound and get very different vocal effects, you can easily and quickly do that. So let's listen to some of these sound design things that we can do here in the macro functions.
It's keeping my heart beating, don't
We can
wanna
high pass
stop
filter the
dreaming.
sound,
It's keeping my heart beating,
low pass filter,
don't wanna stop dreaming.
create kind of a darker sound. We can smash it with compression.
It's keeping my heart beating, don't wanna stop dreaming.
We can smash it with distortion.
It's keeping my heart beating, don't wanna stop dreaming.
We have a chorus, which is going to make it way more alien-y if you turn it all the way up.
It's keeping my heart beating, don't wanna stop dreaming.
But even just finding a balance on that rotary switch, you can get an even more wide, gloopy, Beatles-esque kind of vocal sound.
It's keeping my heart beating, don't wanna stop dreaming.
I love that effect because it's very friendly to vocalists that might have some pitchiness on the tracks. She doesn't, obviously, but some vocalists do, and chorus is a very welcoming, warming effect to vocals that aren't pitch perfect. And then this really cool reverb effect is adding more reverb on after the chain, and it has a really cool sound. So we'll turn that one up.
It's keeping my heart beating.
And that makes use of Ableton 12's hybrid reverb, which is a sample-based reverb effect, which is really great. And you can see everything kind of moving when I move this macro knob. And that's because everything is programmed to work with these plugins using just these switches. We also have an echo.
It's keeping my heart beating. Don't wanna stop dreaming.
And this echo is very friendly for keeping the original vocal sound.
It's keeping my heart beating. Don't wanna stop dreaming.
And finally, the lo-fi effect is really useful for adding a lot of warmth to the signal, some pitch modulation, kind of like a vinyl sound to things. And again, like I said, you can play around with this just with the randomization buttons and get vastly different effects.
It's keeping my heart beating. It's keeping my heart beating. Don't wanna stop dreaming.
So yeah, lots of wild, crazy stuff you can get just from throwing these switches around. So it's also a sound design tool. It's a one-click solution, and it's also a sound design tool for vocals with incredible amount of depth. And you could also throw this vocal chain onto guitars and other synthesizer type instruments if you want to do some more sound design type stuff. All these things will apply to a lot of your mixing tasks when you're making music. So yeah, it's a really, really easy one-click solution. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section on this video or email us at our email. And yeah, I hope you guys get a lot out of this. If you want to get access to this vocal chain and so much more content, I highly recommend checking out the Patreon as well. That's where you get access to samples, MIDI, lessons, templates, and presets like this one, especially for Ableton 12. So be sure to check that out. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Have fun making music.